if I were to come to you and give you a disposable camera, okay, and ask you to take a picture of an object that you value, something that has meaning to you, and then write 2 sentences about it, what object would you choose? That is exactly what I did around 15 years ago, back when I was doing my bachelor's in graphic design at AUB. I took all those cameras, I gave them to people around me, so it was students, professors, friends and family, and I asked them to take pictures of objects that had meaning to them. And then I asked them to write 2 sentences about that object. It could be their choice or why they decided to use it. And then I took those pictures, developed them, and gave them to other people, other subjects, and asked them to read into those objects. And the result was something like these. A whole lot of different things. Now remember, this was 15 years ago. Look at the map. And in Lebanon, so some people valued this. The end result was a publication. And in it, I presented the items in that same order. So the objects were all in the middle. And then I got the writings on that object and the interpretations. And back at the end, sorry, this is a bit, let's do this. At the end, there was an index of all the 90 participants. And in it, you see the picture of the person who took the object and a little bit of information about them, so their age, their profession, and that date of the object was taken, and then who had read about their object. It was all like an interactive publication, really. And what that made me realize is that there's a big relation with the objects that we all own. We are surrounded by these objects, and whether they're useful, decorative, expensive, or everyday objects, we really try to use them to leave clues about ourselves. They are clues about our identities, about our culture, about our political ideologies and religious beliefs. So, going back to what Justine was talking about in the morning, this chair that belonged to his father, or that desk that they imported, we really are putting meaning into these objects. Last night, my husband told me, Nisreen, don't have, we're going to go for dinner at night at Mythos. It's a little Greek restaurant back in G.A.E. And so I automatically decided, okay, I'm not having lunch, I'm going to skip lunch. And I wanted to save, the whole experience of going to Mythos. Now, when I go there, I lose myself, typically because of the experience. If I was to dissect the experience, it would have been that burn, that pour, the sip, the breath, the art, the music, the smell. So it's putting all of these symbols together. And the reason why I lost myself in that space is because I trusted that space. We are relational beings. We cannot live alone. We need people to complement us. And what we look for is people we trust. Now when we find these people, what we are really looking for is an extension of ourselves. We're looking for people who are inspired by what inspires us. We're looking for people who see the light that we see and who value what we value. Now, if we put all of that into perspective, into objects, what we are trying to really do is do an extension of ourselves through symbols, symbols that reflect what we value. It's the words and the images and the whole expression and the experience as extensions to ourselves and our beliefs. So when we're talking about furniture, it's not just furniture. It's an extension of ourselves. Despite, the production of the same item, production and everything, we still put value into these things. So what I wanted to ask you at the end, if branding is putting symbols, and putting these symbols in visuals and words and through things that we hear, are we branding our homes correctly? If we are branding ourselves in our clothes and shoes and designer cars or different cars, are we branding our homes? correctly. This is what I will leave you with. If you are branding your homes, do it well and tell your story well. Thank you very much.